Hi everyone, I'm Jim. Today I'm going to do a tour of the Transit Connect that I built way back in 2014. It's only going to be a slideshow video because I never thought of doing YouTube back then. The design is totally different from anything I've seen anyone else do, so I hope you find it helpful. My idea was to make a microvan for 2 people and incorporate as many big van features as possible. I did what I call a 4-box design. Up front on the bottom is the kitchen box, above it is the microwave, on each side and the back is a bench box. Moving up front, you can see that the kitchen extends across the van and has lids that close down on each side. On the left side is a space for the cooktop. Depending on the trip, either a single burner induction cooktop can be used or it can be replaced with a single burner Coleman butane stove. To keep things in place while traveling, I laser cut some donuts out of 1/8" plastic that the feet of either stove can fit into to keep them from sliding. Beneath the cooktop area is a full extension drawer for food storage. In the center section of the kitchen is the refrigerator. This is a Dometic CF18. It's a true compressor fridge and keeps probably 3 days worth of food cold with only about a 3-amp draw. On the right end of the kitchen box is a sink. I used a fold-down marine faucet that incorporates a pump switch, so when you turn the faucet on, it automatically starts the pump. I also incorporated a sprayer that's designed to be used as an outdoor shower. The plumbing and water pump are under the sink along with additional storage that we used for pots and pans and cleaning supplies. I don't have a photo of the setup, but I used 2 2.5-gallon plastic water containers for fresh water. These were located between the kitchen box and the seats. Because the seat backs are angled, there's a good place right behind them to fit these water tanks. I actually rigged hoses to the valves on the containers and ran into a T-fitting for the water supply line. That way I could turn the water off with the valves if needed. Over the kitchen box I hung a cabinet for a small microwave. I shopped for the smallest micro I could find and it fit fine. The box is fastened to the Transit's frame bow above and braced with 2 diagonal bars from the bottom of the cabinet up to the sides of the van. You can't see them here because stuffing the curtains into them was a convenient way to keep the curtains out of the way. Most of the time, the back of the van served as a lounge. We usually just sat leaning against the wall cushions and put our feet up on the opposite bench. The cabinets were designed to be just the right height to allow us to have head clearance. For dining, the table goes up in the middle. Before putting the floor down, I installed a pipe flange in the floor from the bottom side. To put the table up, you just screw in a piece of 1/2-inch iron pipe and screw the table onto the top. When not in use, the table is stored on the end of the kitchen box. Here you can also see the pipe flange on the bottom. Under the driver's side bench was a section to store the porta potty in the back, and in the front was the house battery and inverter. Back in 2014, the electrical system was a lead-acid battery and a 600-watt inverter. Not fancy, but it easily powered the LED ceiling lights and a small coffee maker. To power the microwave, we needed to be plugged into shore power. Under the passenger side bench seat were 2 huge full extension drawers. Each of these drawers would hold more than a standard carry-on size suitcase, so we could easily go for a week or more with just that amount of clothes. In these small vans, you have to make use of every bit of space, so I put a hinge door on the back of each bench so the space behind the box could be used. This turned out to be a perfect place for pillows and bedding. We used down quilts from IKEA, so they easily stuffed down into these spaces along with folding chairs. On the rear doors, this generation of Transit had an ugly stationary cover over the lower door. I used them as templates to make new doors to open up this space. The covers are hinged on the bottom and held closed with magnets at the top. Inside is enough space to store the shore power cord, water filter, and hose. In this picture you can also see the hookups for the electrical and city water. The sink drains back here too. There's no gray water tank, so we just use a hose into the sewer hookup. At nighttime, the entire back of the van converts into a comfortable double bed. First, leaves on each bench box are lifted up. Then the table piece is inserted to form the center section. With the cushions rearranged, this forms the bed. If you're wondering why it's U-shaped, it's because at night we moved the toilet into the aisle just in case it was needed in the middle of the night. Surprisingly, this setup works great and it's much better than going outside in the middle of the night. On the side of the van, I installed an ARB manual awning. This was easy to set up and provided shade whenever we needed it. Well, that's about it. I hope this video gave you some new ideas on how you can build a micro camper for 2 people. I sold this van several years back, but recently decided I'd like to have a micro camper again for stealthing in some of the cities we travel to. So I bought a new 2021 ProMaster City, and very soon I'll get started on the conversion process. If you want to see that project as it gets going, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.